Do you feel that? That heavy, suffocating silence that follows a years-long storm. You've been walking through a valley so dark and so long that you started to believe the shadows were your only home. You've been pushed to the edge of your sanity, your finances, and your faith. You've asked, "Why me?" so many times that the question has become a permanent bruise on your soul. But listen closely. The wind is shifting. The atmosphere in your life is changing right now, because I have a message for the one who has been forged in the fire, for the chosen one who is tired of being the victim of a system that tried to break them. It is over. The trial that was designed to destroy you didn't just fail, it ended. And it ended because you are no longer the person who walked into that fire. You see, the world wants you to think you're just unlucky. They want you to believe that the 17% drop in your bank account or the betrayal of those you trusted was just how life is. They are wrong. It was a strategic pruning. You were being prepared for a counterattack that the world isn't ready for. There are 3 undeniable signs that your hardest season has officially ended. If you see these signs, do not look back. Do not hesitate. The trap that was set for you has been dismantled by a higher power. Think about your life just 3 years ago. You had a plan, didn't you? You had a vision of where you'd be. And then, the crisis hit. Maybe it was a sudden job loss that felt like a punch to the gut. Maybe it was a health scare that left you feeling powerless. You felt like a victim. You felt like the elites, the system, or just fate was winning. But here is the truth they don't want you to know. The chosen one is never a victim. You were a soldier behind enemy lines, learning the layout of the land. Every tear you shed was a payment for the wisdom you now possess. Every night you spent wondering how you'd pay the bills or protect your family was a lesson in spiritual warfare. The first sign is a strange, unshakable peace in the middle of what should be chaos. Have you noticed it? While everyone else is panicking about the economy, while the world is shouting about the next disaster, you feel a quiet, steady resolve. That is not your own strength. That is the divine signal that the battle has been won on your behalf. They thought they could silence you. They thought they could bury your potential under a mountain of debt and disappointment. But they forgot one thing. You are a seed, and the more they tried to bury you, the deeper your roots grew. Why now? Why is the trial ending today? Because you finally stopped trying to negotiate with your struggle. You stopped asking for permission to be successful. You stood up, you looked the mountain in the eye, and realized it wasn't there to stop you. It was there to show you how high you could climb. The struggle wasn't just about you. It was about your legacy. It was about the future of your family and the people you were meant to lead. You are the one who breaks the cycle. You are the one who says no more. I'm talking to the man in the garage wondering if his best years are behind him. I'm talking to the mother praying over her sleeping children, wondering if she can provide the life they deserve. Look at the facts. They are undeniable. You have survived 100% of your worst days. And the reason you are still standing is that you have a master plan assigned to your life that no globalist force or local betrayal can stop. The second sign is even more startling. It's the sudden removal of people who no longer belong in your future. It hurts, doesn't it? When people you loved walked away when things got tough. But look closer. That wasn't a loss. That was a divine clearance. You cannot carry dead weight into the promised land. The trial had to be this hard because the payoff is going to be that big. You are being moved into a position of authority. Not the kind of authority given by a title or a paycheck, but the kind of authority that comes from knowing exactly who you are and whose you are. Are you going to sit back and watch your life pass you by? Or will you stand with the Creator who chose you before the foundations of the world? The elites want you distracted. They want you focused on the crisis. But I want you focused on the solution. The solution is the transformation that has already happened inside of you. You are sharper. You are stronger. You are ready to reclaim what was stolen. This isn't just about getting through it. This is about a total strategic takeover of your own destiny. As we move forward, I am going to show you the third and most powerful sign. This is the one that proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the enemy has lost his grip on your life. This is the moment where the hunter becomes the hunted. But before we get there, you need to understand something about the nature of this ending. It isn't a quiet exit. It is a triumphant transition. You are about to see doors open that were bolted shut for decades. You are about to see resources flow from places you never expected. Because when the chosen one finishes their trial, the whole world takes notice. It's time to stop mourning the fire and start celebrating the fact that you didn't even come out smelling like smoke. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal next will change the way you look at every struggle you've ever faced. This is the master plan in motion. This is your moment of absolute victory. The transition you are feeling right now isn't just a coincidence. It's a tactical shift in the spiritual realm. Most people think a trial ends when the money comes back or the sickness leaves. But for the chosen one, the end of a trial starts with a change in your vibration. It starts with the second sign, and this is the one that separates the survivors from the conquerors. The second sign is what I call the sudden clarity of the battlefield. For years, you've been fighting in the fog. You didn't know who to trust. You didn't know why every time you took 2 steps forward, something or someone pushed you 3 steps back. You felt like you were shadowboxing with an invisible enemy. But suddenly, the fog has lifted. You are seeing people for who they truly are. You are seeing the master plan behind the chaos. This clarity is a gift, but it's also a weapon. Think about the way the elites operate. They rely on you being confused. They want you focused on the 24-hour news cycle, the fluctuating interest rates, and the constant fear-mongering. Why? Because a confused mind is a controlled mind. But you've stopped looking at the screen and started looking at the source. You've realized that the crisis was just a distraction to keep you from claiming your inheritance. Let's be honest. It's been a lonely road. You've sat in your truck at 2 a.m., staring at the steering wheel, wondering if you were losing your mind. You saw things others didn't. You felt a storm coming when everyone else was enjoying the sun. They called you crazy. They called you negative. But now that the storm has hit, those same people are looking to you for answers. The trial was designed to build your discernment. Imagine a piece of steel. To become a blade that can cut through anything, it has to be heated to 2,500 degrees, then hammered, then plunged into ice-cold water. That plunge felt like a betrayal, didn't it? It felt like the world was turning its back on you. But in reality, it was the tempering process. Without that cold shock, you would have stayed soft, and soft people cannot lead in the times that are coming. The Creator is saying, I had to let them walk away. I had to let that business partner betray you. I had to let that family member doubt you. If they stayed, they would have been a parasite on your future success. They were comfortable with the old you, the version of you that was easy to manage and easy to predict. But they are terrified of the new you. They can sense the authority dripping off your words. They can see that you no longer care about their approval. Are you starting to see the logic? This is the master plan in action. While the world was trying to cancel you, God was busy confirming you. You were being moved into a closed-loop system where your provision doesn't come from the government or a corporation, but directly from the kingdom. Look at the history of this great nation. It wasn't built by people who waited for permission. It was built by chosen ones who were tired of the status quo, people who were willing to risk everything to build a future they believed in. You are part of that lineage. You carry the DNA of a pioneer. But here's the twist. The ending of your trial isn't just for your comfort. It's for your command. The trial ends when you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the architect of your reality. You've stopped saying, "I hope things get better," and started saying, "I will make it better." That shift in language is the sound of the prison doors unlocking. Why did it take so long? Why did you have to suffer for 3, 5, or 10 years? Because you were carrying generational baggage that had to be burned off. You were carrying the poverty mindset of your father. You were carrying the fear of your mother. You were carrying the insecurities of a society that wants you to be a good little consumer instead of a powerful creator. Every month that you struggled to make ends meet was a strike of the hammer against that old mindset. Now, that mindset is shattered. You are free. Now, let's talk about the economic counterattack. They want you to believe that the economy is a monster that cannot be tamed. But for the chosen one, the economy is a field to be harvested. When the trial ends, your spiritual currency is converted into physical reality. The ideas you had during your darkest nights, those business plans, those creative projects, those strategic moves, they are about to receive divine backing. But you must be ready to move. The third sign, the one I will reveal in the next part, is the most dangerous for your enemies. It is the sign that you have transitioned from the defense to the offense. It is the sign that the hunter has become the hunted. Do you feel the fire in your gut? That's not indigestion. That's the Holy Spirit reigniting your engine. That's the Lion of Judah waking up inside of a person who has been told they were a sheep for too long. You are not a sheep. You never were. You were just a lion in a cage. And the trial was the process of you realizing that the cage was never locked. As we move into this next phase, I want you to pay attention to your intuition. It's going to be sharper than ever. You'll know which phone calls to take and which ones to ignore. You'll know exactly where to invest your time and energy. This is high-level discernment, and it only comes to those who have survived the wilderness. The world is about to see a version of you that they cannot explain. They will ask, how did they bounce back? How are they so calm when the world is burning? And you will just smile, because you know the secret. You know that the fire didn't consume you. It only consumed the chains that were holding you back. This is the end of the hiding season. No more staying in the shadows. No more playing small so that others don't feel uncomfortable. The chosen one is stepping into the light. But there is one final test before the total payoff. It's a test of loyalty. When the blessings start to pour in, and they will you remember the lessons of the valley? Will you use your new power to protect the forgotten men and women who are still in their own fires? Or will you become like the elites who tried to crush you? The Creator is watching. The trial is finished. but the mission is just beginning. Get ready. The third sign is about to manifest, and it is going to be the loudest signal of your life. It is the sound of the trumpet. It is the sound of your total and absolute victory. Are you ready to see what happens when a chosen one decides they've had enough? Stay tuned, because the final revelation is going to shatter every remaining doubt in your mind. The best is not just coming, it is already here. We have reached the most explosive part of this journey. You've recognized the peace. You've navigated the isolation. But now, we talk about the third sign. This is the one that sends a shiver down the spine of the forces that tried to hold you back. The third sign is the divine role reversal. It is the moment where you stop running from the storm and realize that you are the storm. In the military, there is a concept called turning the flank. It's when an army that was being pushed back suddenly finds a gap in the enemy's line and strikes from the side, turning a retreat into a total rout. This is exactly what is happening in your life right now. For years, you were the target. You were the one being audited, the one being slandered, the one being overlooked for the promotion, while the yes men and the elites climbed the ladder. But look at the scoreboard now. Have you noticed that the very people who tried to sabotage you are suddenly facing their own crises? The systems that tried to squeeze you are starting to crack under their own weight. This isn't coincidence. This is the law of the harvest. They sowed injustice into your life, and now they are reaping a whirlwind in theirs. But here is the difference. You have the character to survive a crisis. They don't. You were forged in this furnace of affliction. You know how to live on a budget. You know how to pray until something happens. You know how to find hope when the pantry is empty. They are soft. They rely on the system. And when the system fails, they crumble. But because you are the chosen one, your trial has made you anti-fragile. The harder they hit you, the stronger you became. This is the moment the tables turn. The third sign manifests when you notice that you no longer feel the need to defend yourself. When someone speaks a lie about you, you don't stay up at night drafting a rebuttal. You just keep moving. Why? Because you realize that their opinion is a devaluating currency. It has no purchasing power in your future. You have moved into a position of absolute spiritual authority, where the barking of dogs no longer disturbs the lion. Think about the middle-class spirit of America, the spirit of the worker, the builder, the one who gets their hands dirty. The system has tried to break that spirit for decades. They want you dependent. They want you scared. They want you compliant. But the chosen one cannot be domesticated. You are a wild force of nature backed by the King of Kings. The trial had to reach a breaking point, because that's the only way to release the breaking power. I want you to look back at the last 12 months. Every time you thought you were at the end of your rope, a hand reached out and gave you just enough strength to take one more step. That wasn't luck. That was a training exercise. You were being taught how to walk on water while the waves were screaming. Now, the wind has died down. The trial is finished. But you still have the ability to walk on water. Do you see the strategic advantage you now hold? You are entering a season of rapid recovery. In the financial world, they call it a V-shaped recovery. What took the enemy 10 years to steal from you? The Creator can restore in 10 months. But it won't happen through a government handout or a lottery ticket. It will happen through the transferred wealth of wisdom. You now know how to build things that last. You know how to identify a snake in the grass before it bites. You know how to spot an opportunity that others miss because they are too busy staring at their phones. The hunter has become the hunted. The very problems that used to keep you awake at night are now afraid of you. Debt is afraid of you because you've learned the discipline of a soldier. Sickness is afraid of you because you've discovered the power of the word. Failure is afraid of you because you've died so many times that you no longer fear the grave. This is the "it is finished" moment. When Jesus said those words on the cross, it wasn't a cry of defeat. It was a legal proclamation. He was saying that the debt was paid, the contract was torn up, and the authority had been shifted. Today, I am telling you to say those words over your past, over your trauma, over your bank account, over your broken relationships. It is finished. The trial isn't just ending. It has been legally dismissed in the highest court of heaven. The plaintiff, the accuser who has been pointing at your flaws and your mistakes, has been kicked out of the courtroom. The judge has ruled in your favor. But listen, because this is the counterattack strategy you need to hear. Victory requires a new set of habits. You cannot occupy the promised land with a wilderness mindset. You have to stop looking for manna on the ground and start preparing to eat the fruit of the land. This means you must start acting like the person you are becoming. Dress for the victory. Talk like a victor. Invest like a victor. Are you going to keep complaining about what the other side is doing? Or are you going to start building your own parallel economy? Are you going to keep waiting for things to return to normal? Or are you going to realize that normal was the cage? The chosen one is a builder. The trial ended because you finally passed the test of self-reliance through God-reliance. You realized that if God is for you, it doesn't matter who is against you, whether it's a corrupt politician, a greedy banker, or a jealous neighbor. Their power is a mirror. Your power is eternal. The atmosphere is heavy right now, isn't it? It's the weight of glory. It's the weight of the payoff. In the next part, we are going to dive into the master plan for your restoration. We are going to look at exactly how to handle the sudden influx of favor that is about to hit your life. Because believe me, when the floodgates open, most people drown because they aren't prepared. But you've been building an ark in the middle of a desert for years. The rain is starting. The first few drops are hitting your face right now. Can you hear it? The sound of abundance. The sound of chains hitting the floor. The sound of your enemies retreating into the darkness. The trial is over. The hiding season is cancelled. It's time for the world to see the chosen one in full command. Stay with me. The next revelation will show you exactly how to claim the ground that belongs to you. This is where it gets real. This is where the story changes forever. The trial has ended, but the conquest is just beginning. Most people make a fatal mistake. They think the end of a struggle means it is time to sit back and relax. They want to go back to the way things were. But you didn't survive the fire just to go back to being a commoner. You survived the fire to become a king. The master plan is not about restoration to your previous state. It is about total dominion over your new territory. In military terms, we call this exploiting the breakthrough. When the enemy's line breaks, you don't stop to celebrate. You drive through the gap with everything you've got. You occupy the high ground. You secure the supply lines. You ensure that the enemy can never regroup on your soil again. This is the season of strategic occupation. Think about the way the chosen one operates in the modern world. You are surrounded by a culture of weakness, a culture that rewards victimhood and punishes excellence. The elites in the media and the halls of power want a population that is passive, medicated, and distracted. But the master plan for your life is the exact opposite. You are being called to be active, sober-minded, and hyper-focused. The first step of the master plan is the reclamation of resources. What was stolen from you during the trial? Was it your time? Was it your reputation? Was it your physical health or your financial security? In this new season, you must view every loss as a loan that is now due with 100% interest. But the repayment won't come from the people who hurt you. It will come from the divine opportunities that are now aligning in your favor. Have you noticed a sudden coincidence in your life lately? Maybe a phone call from someone you haven't spoken to in years. Maybe a sudden idea for a business that solves a problem people are currently screaming about. Maybe a random encounter at a local coffee shop that opens a door you thought was welded shut. These are not coincidences. These are strategic drops from the master architect. But here is the hard truth. To handle the payoff, you must have the discipline of a leader. The trial taught you how to survive on nothing. Now, you must learn how to manage much. This is where many chosen ones fail. They get the blessing, and then they get soft. They start acting like the very people they used to despise. They lose their edge. I am telling you right now, keep your edge. The world is entering a period of massive transition. The old systems are crumbling. The 17% inflation, the supply chain disruptions, the social unrest. These are the birth pains of a new era. While the masses are looking to the government to save them, the chosen one is looking at the blueprint. You are being positioned to build parallel system, parallel schools, parallel businesses, parallel communities. You are the remnant that keeps the fire of freedom and faith burning when the rest of the world goes dark. The second step of the master plan is decentralized influence. Stop trying to win the approval of the mainstream. They will never like you. They will never validate you. Their system is designed to exclude people like you, people who think for themselves, people who fear God, and people who protect their families. The master plan requires you to build your own platform, whether that's a small business in your town, a digital brand, or a position of leadership in your local church. Your influence must be rooted in value, not just views. What can you do that no one else can? What is the unique selling proposition of your soul? The trial stripped away all the fake layers. It took away the people-pleasing mask. Now, all that is left is the raw, authentic you. That authenticity is your greatest asset. In a world of AI-generated lies and politically correct scripts, a person who speaks the truth with conviction is a magnet for success. The enemy is terrified of a man or woman who knows their worth. Why? Because you can't be bought. You can't be bribed with a stimulus check or a social credit score. You have a higher allegiance. The third step of the master plan is the establishment of legacy. The trial was hard because the roots had to go deep. Why? Because you aren't just building a lifestyle. You are building a lineage. You are the one who breaks the poverty spirit in your family tree. You are the one who stops the cycle of divorce, the cycle of addiction, or the cycle of mediocrity. When you look at your children or your grandchildren, you aren't just seeing kids. You are seeing the next generation of the chosen. The master plan involves you pouring the wisdom you gained in the fire into them. You are teaching them how to spot the globalist traps. You are teaching them the value of hard work, the power of prayer, and the necessity of courage. Are you starting to see why the trial felt like it would never end? It wasn't just about you getting through it. It was about the Creator installing a new operating system in your spirit. The old system was compatible with the world. The new system is only compatible with the kingdom. The crisis you faced was the de-installation process. It was painful. It was messy. It felt like your hard drive was being wiped clean. But now the new software is running. You have access to divine intuition. You have a spiritual radar that can sense a trap from a mile away. The master plan is now in the execution phase. This means you must stop waiting for a sign and start being the sign. The ending of the trial is confirmed by your action. When the Israelites stood before the Red Sea, the water didn't part until they stepped in. You've been standing on the shore, waiting for the path to open. I am telling you, step in. Invest in that skill. Start that conversation. Apply for that position. Move to that city. The wind is blowing at your back. The atmospheric pressure has shifted. The forces that were once working against you have been reassigned to work for you. Even your enemies will unknowingly contribute to your success. Their opposition will only serve to give you more exposure. Their hate will only serve to validate your authority. This is the total collapse of the enemy's strategy. But stay alert. A wounded animal is a dangerous animal. The system knows it is losing its grip on you. It will try one last Hail Mary pass to get you back into the fear loop. It will try to use a health scare or a financial headline to trigger your old trauma. When that happens, I want you to look at your hands. Look at the scars. Those scars are proof that you are unkillable. Those scars are your credentials. Smile at the storm. You've already won. The contract is signed. The trial has officially been marked as finished in the ledger of heaven. Now, go out there and claim what is yours. In the next part, we will explore the final payoff, the moment where the chosen one receives the double for the trouble. This is where the story gets really good. This is where the world sees the glory that was hidden in the groan. Stay focused. Stay aggressive. Stay chosen. You have endured the silence. You have decoded the signs. You have embraced the master plan. Now, we enter the most sacred part of this transition, the payoff. In the divine economy, there is no such thing as wasted pain. Every tear you cried during those midnight vigils was a seed planted in a field of glory. And today, the harvest is no longer coming, it is being delivered to your doorstep. The payoff is what the ancients called the Year of Jubilee. It is the moment where debts are cancelled, slaves are set free, and the land is restored to its rightful owner. For the chosen one, this is the season where the Creator pays you back for every year the locusts have eaten. But I want to be very clear with you. This isn't just about a feel-good moment. This is a total strategic restructuring of your life. Think about the double for your trouble principle. In the book of Isaiah, there is a promise. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. Is 61:7. Think about that. If you lost a business that was worth $100,000, the payoff isn't just getting that $100,000 back. That would just be breaking even. No, the payoff is the double. It is the $200,000 plus the wisdom to never lose it again. This is the X factor that the world doesn't understand. They see you bouncing back, and they think you got lucky. They see your family being restored, and they think it's just a change of heart. They don't see the thousands of hours you spent on your knees. They don't see the way you refused to curse God, even when the system was trying to starve you out. They don't see the strategic patience you developed in the wilderness. The payoff manifests in 3 distinct ways. First, there is the payoff of character. You are no longer the shaky person you were 3 years ago. You don't need a self-help book to tell you you're valuable. You've been validated by the fire. This new confidence is a superpower. When you walk into a room now, people can sense the authority you carry. You don't have to raise your voice to be heard. You don't have to hustle to be noticed. You are a high-value target for blessings because your character can now sustain what your charisma once only dreamed of. Second, there is the payoff of provision. This is where the globalist scarcity mindset is shattered. The world wants you to believe that resources are running out. They want you to fight over the crumbs they leave on the table. But as the chosen one, you are tapped into the unlimited supply. I'm talking to the person who has been watching their 401k fluctuate with fear. I'm talking to the small business owner who has been squeezed by regulations and rising costs. Listen to me. The wealth of the wicked is being stored up for the righteous. See N13:22. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a divine transfer. Opportunities are going to default into your hands because the people currently holding them lack the integrity to manage them in the coming storm. Third, there is the payoff of peace. This is the greatest middle finger to the enemy. He tried to give you a nervous breakdown. He tried to keep you in a state of perpetual anxiety. He wanted you medicated and miserable. But look at you now. You have a peace that surpasses all understanding. Pull 4-7. You can sleep through a recession. You can smile through a scandal. Why? Because you know the end of the story. You know that you are the chosen one and the trial is finished. Are you going to sit around waiting for the mainstream media to tell you it's okay to be happy? Or are you going to start your victory lap right now? The double portion is hitting your house today. Maybe it starts with a reconciliation in your marriage that you thought was impossible. Maybe it's a clean bill of health from the doctor that leaves the experts scratching their heads. Maybe it's a breakthrough in your child's life, the one you've been fasting for. Whatever it is, recognize it, label it, say it out loud. This is my payoff. The system hates this. The elites hate a person they can't control with fear. When you start receiving your double, you become a beacon of hope for everyone else. You become living proof that the Creator is still on the throne. You become a threat to the status quo because you are showing people that there is a third way, a way of faith, a way of strength, and a way of absolute victory. But here is the master plan warning. Do not let the payoff make you lazy. The double portion comes with double responsibility. You are being blessed so that you can be a blessing. You are being given power so that you can protect. Use your resources to build the parallel America. Support the local farmers. Invest in the alternative media. Build the kingdom schools. The trial was the basic training. The payoff is the equipment, and the mission is just beginning. The world is looking for leaders, not the kind with fancy titles and political connections, but the kind with scars and testimonies. They are looking for people who have been through the hell of a trial and came out on the other side with their head held high. They are looking for you. The atmosphere is shifting from groaning to governing. You aren't just surviving the crisis anymore. You are capitalizing on it. You are the Joseph in Egypt. While the world is panicking about the famine, you are the one who has the storehouses. You are the one who has the plan. I can hear the chains falling off your family tree right now. I can hear the sound of abundance raining down on your zip code. The trial didn't break you, it made you. And the payoff is going to be so massive that people will look at your life and say, surely, the hand of God is on that person. Do not look back at the ashes of your past. Look forward to the beauty of your future. The contract has been fulfilled. The price has been paid. The chosen one is now the favored one. This is the master plan in full bloom. In our final part, we are going to wrap this all together with a call to action that will seal this victory in your spirit forever. We are going to look at the legacy you are about to leave. Are you ready to claim your double? Are you ready to show the world what victory really looks like? Stay with me for the conclusion. This is the moment your life changes forever. The fire has died down, the smoke has cleared, and you are still standing. But you aren't just standing, you are reigning. We have reached the final stage of this divine transformation. This is no longer about the trial. This is no longer even about the payoff. This is about the legacy. It is about the eternal mark you are going to leave on this world. The chosen one doesn't just win for themselves. They win for the generations that will follow in their footsteps. Think about the strategic positioning you now occupy. The world is in a state of total collapse. The traditional pillars of society, the media, the corrupt politicians, the predatory financial systems are all shaking. People are desperate for something real. They are exhausted by the fake narratives and the woke agendas that have tried to hollow out the American soul. They are looking for a North Star. That North Star is your testimony when you walk through your neighborhood, when you talk to your co-workers, or when you sit down at the dinner table with your family. You are carrying a frequency that the darkness cannot stand. You are living evidence that the system is not God. You are proof that a man or woman who stands with the Creator is uncancelable. This is the third way we talked about earlier. The elites want you to choose between side A and side B, both of which they control. But the chosen one chooses side C, the kingdom. You have decoupled your peace from the Dow Jones. You have decoupled your identity from social media validation. You have found a firm foundation that the globalist winds cannot blow over. But let's talk about the duty of the victor. Victory is a responsibility. The trial ended because you are now qualified to lead others out of their own fires. You didn't survive that 17% drop in your life just to gloat. You survived it so you could teach the forgotten men and women how to build their own storehouses. You survived that betrayal so you could show others how to forgive without becoming doormats. The master plan for your legacy involves action. In this new season, I want you to look for the gaps. Where is the truth missing in your community? Where is courage lacking? Where is hope needed? That is where you are supposed to be. You are the salt and the light. And salt doesn't just sit in the shaker. It gets into the meat to preserve it from rotting. Light doesn't just hide under a basket, it exposes the rats in the dark. Have you noticed how much louder your voice has become lately? Not because you are shouting, but because your words have weight. When the chosen one speaks after a trial, the atmosphere shifts. Why? Because you aren't speaking theory, you are speaking history. You aren't quoting a textbook, you are quoting a battlefield. This is your offensive strategy. While the enemy is busy trying to reset the world, you are busy restoring the soul. While they are trying to digitize every aspect of human life, you are doubling down on human connection, family values, and divine truth. You are the glitch in the matrix. You are the anomaly that their algorithms can't predict. And that makes you dangerous. The trial was hard because the opposition knew what you were capable of before you did. They tried to abort your destiny in the wilderness. They tried to make you bitter so you couldn't be better. But they failed. They used their best weapons, fear, lack, isolation, and you ate them for breakfast. Now you are immunized against their tactics. What can they do to a person who isn't afraid to lose? What can they do to a person who knows that to live is Christ and to die is gain? Psalm 121. You are fearless, and a fearless person is the greatest threat to a tyrannical system. As we close this chapter, I want you to take a strategic moment to look at your future. Stop looking at the next 30 days and start looking at the next 30 years. What kind of family culture are you building? What kind of spiritual inheritance are you leaving for your grandkids? The payoff we talked about in Part 5 is the fuel for this legacy. Use it wisely. Don't waste your double portion on vanity. Invest it in values. The trial is finished. The war is won. The command is yours. You are the chosen one for such a time as this. You were born for this crisis. You were forged for this transition. You were chosen to be the one who stands when everyone else kneels. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the whisper of the Spirit. Stay sober, stay vigilant, stay aggressive in your faith. The hunter has become the hunted, the victim has become the victor, and the trial has become the triumph. You have been marked by the King. You have been sealed by the Spirit. You have been promoted by the Father. Go out there and live like it. The world is waiting for a real hero. Not one in a movie, but one in a pickup truck, one in a cubicle, one in a kitchen. They are waiting for someone who has the guts to say, I've been through the fire and I'm still here, and you can make it too. This is your great commission. This is your master plan. The hiding season is officially over. The manifestation season has begun. Walk into your promised land with your head held high. You didn't just get through the trial. You conquered it. And the best part, the Creator is just getting started with you. Stay chosen, stay strong, and never ever look back. We have traveled a long road together in this video, from the suffocating silence of the trial to the triumphant command of your legacy. If you are still watching this, it is not by accident. It is a divine appointment. You are here because your soul needed to hear the verification that the storm has indeed passed. The meaning of this journey is simple but profound. The fire does not consume the chosen. It only consumes the chains. The lesson for you today is to stop negotiating with your past. Stop giving mental real estate to the people who hurt you or the systems that failed you. They were merely props in the great theater of your development. They played their part, and now their contract is up. Your trial was never about your destruction. It was about your distinction. It was the entrance exam for the high-level authority you are about to walk in. You have learned strategic patience. You have developed divine discernment. You have accessed unshakable peace. These are the real riches that no central bank can inflate away. As you move into this post-trial life, remember the 3 signs: the peace in the chaos, the sudden clarity of the battlefield, the divine role reversal. If you see these, know that the master plan is in its final execution. Now, I have a request for you not as a follower, but as a comrade in arms. This message needs to reach the chosen ones who are still in the middle of their midnight. It needs to reach the father who is about to give up. It needs to reach the mother who thinks she's failed. Your engagement helps the algorithm of truth overcome the algorithm of fear. If this message resonated with your spirit and you feel the shift happening in your life right now, comment with the number 999 below. Let it be a public declaration that your trial is finished and your double portion is here. If you feel I missed something, or if you didn't quite connect with this message, comment with the number 0. I value your honesty, and I want to improve this content to serve you better. Or simply leave a comment sharing your testimony. Your words might be the mini hook that keeps someone else from giving up today. And finally, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. We are building a community of the chosen. We are building the parallel economy of faith and strength. Your subscription is the fuel that keeps this counterattack moving forward. The fight isn't over, it's just getting started. But the difference is, this time, you know you've already won. Stand up, speak up, and stay chosen. God bless you, and God bless America.